All right, good evening, everybody. I'm going to get the stream started a little bit early today. Similar to last night, going to try doing some feeder fishing for burbot and char from the island out there while trolling around. And after doing some research, it seems like where I was trying to cast from last time was on the wrong side of the island. Looks like 113.92 going towards the southeastern side over in this deeper hole is where I should have been casting to. So, without any further ado, let's get out to the island and see if we can make it happen. Before I put the trolling rods out, I'm just going to go ahead and rush over to the island. These boats get loud when you have them on the full engine. Like this way to cut the sound out a little bit. Alright. It seems the backside of the island is where I should have been casting from. And I have it set up right now for burbot. See how that does. If it doesn't do anything, then I'll switch it out for char with mayfly larva. Finding a spot to disembark is a little tricky though. Yeah, maybe. Not seem to want to let it off here either. Hey, Canadian, how you doing? I am fighting the rocks here, trying to find a spot to disembark on the island. They, in a weird stuck spot, it seems like. There, now I can push off. So I'm going to be trying some trolling around the island while leaving one of my rods out as a feeder here on the island to see if I can get some burbot or char. Right now I'm set up for burbot, casting from 113.19 at a clip of 33 with pieces of fish on there. There we go. And now we'll get to trolling around and see what we can do. As far as my trolling lures go, got the Adriatica running the blue snowflake, which was doing really well last night. It was just an absolutely insane bite rate. And got the spiker on right now. See how it does tonight. It did okay last night, but wasn't stellar. But hopefully we can get some burbot or char on the feeder, and we'll just come by every now and then to check on that. See what we get. And tomorrow I will have my hair coloring for the from the viewer poll the other day, so I will be getting my hair done all pinked up and showcase that on stream, as long as it doesn't end up taking too long, because my appointment starts in the evening. If it ends up being like a 3.5–4 hour dye job, then the showcase stream may have to wait till the day after tomorrow, but we'll see. First fish of the night, little Vindus. Hopefully that's not indicative of what the rest of the night will be. Here we got an Arctic char. Where are you fishing today, Canadian? See if WSD gets on this evening. I've got my Akbar T selection to show them. Actuba, very nice, very nice. Getting any good fish out there right now? And a lake trout. Hopefully I'll hit 60% spin fishing tonight. think I'm only half a point away. It's a decent Ventus there. Forgot to check the cafe, actually, fortunately, but we'll check it when everything's done. Big chubs and asp. Hey, that's not too bad. Those asp, man, once they get above like 5 kilos, they're worth good money. Alright, Adriatica's got the first fight of the night, as always. It's like a little lake trout here. 2.7 kilo. Not off to a bad start so far. The bite rate seems to be about as active as it was yesterday, so that's good. Hopefully the feeder rod will be a little more successful than it was before. One thing I don't know, does anybody know what a good hook size is for burbot? Because I've got a size 2 on there right now. I don't know if that's too big, if I need to downgrade to like a much smaller size, or if that's a reasonable enough size for them. Size 1 is good. Okay, well, I've got the size 2 is the only one I've got that's got a good star rating, so I'll leave it. It's the Berserk Rage, so I'll leave it on there. Do they get spooked by leaders? I didn't think about that. I do have a leader on there. It'll pick something up. Need a leader? Okay, so I can leave that on there safe. I figure through the night I'll leave it on the burbot setup, and then during the day I can switch it over to a char setup to see if I can get some char or something. Or worst case scenario, some trout. Rainbows are active today? Okay, I'll swing by there and check it out. And then let's see, Rainbow Bay, I'm assuming is this cove over here, or is it this little inlet that people refer to as Rainbow Bay? Yeah, let's check. I'm at, yeah, half a point away from 60% spin fishing, so that should hit tonight. The main dock area? Okay, so when it turns day, I'll swing by there. Another lake trout. Nothing big yet, but still a decent bite rate. And I know the char like larva, so I'll probably throw it, and I think the weeklies right now show that the mayfly larva was doing decent, so during the day I'll swap the feeder bait out to mayfly larva, put a smaller hook on. Hoping to at least catch one burbot out there though. And where did the island even go? There it is. And I'm just gonna switch the spiker out to a nighttime spinner. See if we have a little more luck with that. So Mugglad, what you are you playing vanilla Minecraft or are you playing modded Minecraft? Hear the burbot bells ringing, hopefully. There's another little Ventus, it looks like. Tiny Ventus. Trolling Donets with a spiker. I didn't even know you could troll the Donets River. I assume because it's such a float-heavy place, it was all just from the shoreline. And they just, I know they just came out with the Trails and Tails updates, so maybe you'll come across some of the new features from that. It'd be pretty neat. Alright, so hopefully We've got a burbot over here. Can't imagine what else will be going after pieces of fish on a size 2 hook in this area, but nope, not quite close enough. Yeah, I did like the look of the new cherry blossoms with the new wood options they give as well. Give some nice creative build selections. Yep. All right, let's see what we've got on the feeder. Come on, burbot. It's a burbot, not a very big one, only a kilo, but finally got one. Not too shabby. Now let's hope for a trophy to get on here. I know ultimately this is going to be a less effective means of silver or XP per hour. Really? Already? Of silver XP per hour compared to just having 3 rods out trolling or 3 feeders out doing the thing, but I'd like to try different strategies, see what I can make work and what doesn't. Another tiny Vindus. So it seems like the Vindus are pretty active right now, which is unfortunate. Of all the fish out here to be active, they're the least good. All right, so do the burbot bite it during the daylight at all? My plan is to switch it to char, but if they hit on during the daytime, I might leave it out there, try to go after a pretty good sized burbot. Another Vindus. Don't bite during the day? Okay, so yeah, I'll, once the sun comes up, I'll go ahead and swap it over to a char setup and try to get some of those as well. It's about cucumber time here. Night and evening? Okay, so maybe around like 8 p.m. I'll swap it back to the burbot line then. So I'll just stick to the island. Once the sun comes up, I'll swap that, and then I'll head up to the bay area and see if we can't get some rainbow trout up in there. Got a hit again. And start rolling towards it. This is actually the first game I've streamed. I started on here. It's been about a month and a half now, and I guess it's been about 2 months, and then about a month into playing this, I decided to start streaming. So I've only been doing this for about a month. Maybe it's been just over a month since I started streaming. Got lots of ideas for other games. I want to reserve this time slot for RF4, but I've got lots of other games I've got plans to stream during like early evening, afternoon time for me. It's kind of getting them to a point where I'm comfortable with the settings and the controls and everything, to where it's not just me bumbling through them the whole time. Hey, there's a bottom fishing gain and an almost 1.5 kilo burbot. So this is definitely a lot more successful than my attempts at this last night, where I got no burbot. The two immediate games in my future for streaming are going to be some No Man's Sky, because I haven't really played it before and I picked it up last week, and I'm just kind of going through the tutorial stuff so I have an idea of how to play, and I'll start doing some of that. And one that I'm already got another one on. Okay. One that I'm looking forward to is Mortal Online 2, which I'm just kind of getting through the early game boring grind part of it, and then I want to just see how well I can do as a fisherman on an open loop hardcore PvP game. Definitely getting a good burbot bite rate right now. Almost makes me wish I was focusing on just throwing 3-feeder rods out, but we're out here to experiment with things, so... What do we got? What do we got? Give me something good. Another 1.2 kilo. I don't know what's the trophy for a burbot, like 11 kilo or something? $9 kilo? Okay. So if I can at least get to like a 4.5 kilo burbot, I'll be happy. Every time that's tricked me where it hits the bottom of the water and starts raining, I think I've already got something. Got here. Another, that looks like a decent size Ventus actually. Yeah, 170 gram. Alright, so the sun is starting to come back, and we do have a burbot on. The sound of it, so pull back in and get that. Shoot, if I'd known the burbot were going to be this active, I might have gone for just a triple feeder setup. All right, let's hope for at least a 2 kilo burbot on this one. What do you guys think? Should I put one more cast out with the burbot setup, or should I go ahead and switch to char setup now? Another small one. It was almost 2 kilo though. Let's see. So I think we can probably do one more burbot attempt here and get one good revolution around the island, and if then once we get back around to it, go ahead and switch to char. And anybody have a good hook size recommendation for char using a mayfly larva? Six? All right. I should have a good size 6 hook somewhere on one of my setups, so I will use that. Hopefully we'll get one more burbot on this last revolution around before swapping over. Go ahead and swap this back to a daytime spinner as well. Let's see, what haven't we tried yet today? I haven't tried the Aquila yet today. Maybe it'll have a little better luck going after some Savon trout or something. I've used 2 of my 3 Norway trial trips, and I'll probably use the 3rd one around level 26 or 28 when the XP starts getting pretty bad. It's decent Ventus there. And eventually I may purchase the unlimited access so I can try some fishing from the shoreline there. There's a lake trout. Bite rate picked up real quick here. 0.4% away from 60% spinner fishing as well, which is nice. Yeah, I enjoyed my time out to Norway. I'm looking forward to when I can go out there and not be rushed because of the rental timer, because I really want to try rolling around, seeing the whole map, trying some different strategies, but under the constraints of that timer, I kind of just rushed to a hole and stayed there type of deal. It was fun though. Caught one poor beagle shark while I was out there. It was pretty cool. Right now I'm saving up for a Model 1 or Super Duty, and then putting together some low-cost Bolognese rod so I can start doing some float fishing out to the Donetsky. Right, yeah, if I get the, once I get the unlimited access, I'll have to, I mean, I'll probably do some telescopic fishing from the shore as well, but I'll find an affordable salt-resistant reel, and I worry about it going too large of one, since I'm just going to stick to the shoreline for a while, especially because their boat rental rates are so high anyways. All right, now the sun's up, I'm going to go ahead and swap this over to try to go after char. Hopefully they're hitting in the same spot. All right, so size 6 hook. I think I have a better size. Ah, here we go. Carp size 6. That'll do. And are the char spooked by leaders? Got a 7.7 kilo leader on here, which isn't a great one, but my options right now are that or an exceedingly large one. Go ahead and cast this out, see what it does. So does anybody use the casting control where you're able to have like the fine-tune control over your casting strength? Never really see people mention it. Okay, so you've only caught them on spikers. Yeah, this is kind of like, other than my testing last night, I haven't really done feeder fishing on Kuori Lake before. Okay, another spin fishing gain. We're gonna go ahead and start heading towards the dock area, see if we can get some rainbow trout. And while I'm trolling that direction, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the weeklies, see what lures they've been hitting on this week. Rainbow. Yeah, looks like balsam minnow. I've got one of those, so I'll swap my kilo over to that. Hey gamer, how's it going? Yeah, as far as I'll probably start with some telescopic out there or something when I do get that pass, but yeah, you are right. A cheap pilker is something I want to get. I need to swap some hooks around, apparently. Let me do that real quick here. I'll just take the hooks off of this and throw them on my pink balsa. And we've got something on the feeder rod, so let me get back around to check that before we head towards the shallow area. 40K away, very nice, gamer. It's in reach now. Here's a Venice. Yeah, I've caught using the spiker when I was first started trolling in Kuori. It was basically like 2 spikers and the Aquila, and I did catch quite a few rainbows out here on those. I'll try that. Man, I love when the bite rate here is crazy like this. And you just put something in and you're just juggling rods left and right. Alright, so here's the hoping we've got a char over there on the feeder. Here's an Arctic char. And I'm, what, 0.2 away from 60% now? Alright, you're leaving us in suspense there. Give me a balsa jointed. Ah, you don't hear too many people talk about the cracked and jointed lures. Alright, let's see what we've got on the feeder rod. I didn't see an FGA message, so I assume it's still on here. Yeah. Come on, char. Hey, Hiko, how's it going? Doing some combo trolling and feeder fishing out here in Kuori again. A roach. Oh, you've disappointed me. I'll take the bottom fishing gain, though. Norway time. Nice. You know, a lot of people discredit the sonar out there in Norway, but my first trip out there on my third day out there, I was actually trying to use the sonar and I was having pretty good luck using that to target larger fish, which was nice. Here's a perch. All right, and then change to the balsa lure. There we go. All right, so now let's go ahead and head towards the rainbow trout areas. Yeah, it gives like an idea of the bite rate tables that they've got on the weighted tables. Right. Yeah, they don't actually spawn, but it gives you an idea of what the weighted tables are doing. Pretty nice. Actually, just switched to the balsa, so we're going to see, since the weeklies are showing rainbow trouts have been hitting on the balsas, hoping to get some of those. Here we've got the first pike of the day, and 0.1 away from unlocking topwater lures. Definitely had better luck last night on the feeder rod, though. Better luck than last night. We caught a handful of burbot on the first night already. Now that it's daytime, I'm trying to catch some char. It's nice to see that my strategy was working. The issue last night is I was casting from this side of the island, but apparently I should have been casting towards that way. All right, so I'm going to go towards in this little inlet and sort of troll around the shallows here. Oh, they only bite at nighttime? I thought they were also a daytime fish. Well, I guess we'll catch some random stuff on there during the day, and we'll see if we have some luck with char at night. If not, we can switch back to the burbot setup. Here's another Arctic char. It's about cucumber time again. The bite rate has been really good. The fish sizes have not been great, but this is the same as last time. It's just been back-to-back fish for most of the day. It's really good. Char, Arctic char, or Kuori char, one of the chars. Charizard, Charmander, whatever else we got out here. Alright, so it is a cooler day too, which should be good for the rainbow trout. So I'll go around towards the edge and then whip back around towards the island to check the feeder rod. Another Arctic. Mainly catch them on jig or dead bait. Yeah, I did see. So I know dead baits is not live perch. I think I see a lot of people use on char in the records, but the I think I looked at the ultralight records to see what they're biting on live bait. Or no, telescopic. Yeah, so I saw that they were hitting on mayfly larvae, and I don't have any night crawlers, but I do have mayfly larvae, so I figure I can try to get some small ones on there. Got a big one on the big rock around the corner. Interesting. Man, how can you do that to the rough, though, gamer? I mean, rough and bleak, they're our homeboys. You can't go feeding them to other fish. And those curious about tonight's tea selection, I am drinking a raspberry flavor. I have this Akbar fruit tea sampler set. It's got a whole bunch of different teas, and accidentally let some of them fall out there. I'll pick those up later. But they are a delicious tea. If you're a fan of fruit teas, I highly recommend them. Bleak are our best fish. Cucumber and tea time here. I hear the bells ringing. See what we've got on the feeder rod here. Bite rate is slowed just a little bit, so I don't make any. I'll probably just leave them as they are for now. Where you fishing today, gamer? Trying to get that last bit of XP from Norway. Out at Amber, very nice. Yeah, it seems like there's been a bit of a resurgence in carp the last week or so, which is always good to hear. All right, what do we have on the feeder? Come on, give me something good. It's lightweight, whatever it is, so I'm guessing it's a, yep, it's another roach. Well, I don't really want to waste mayfly on roach, so I'm going to just go ahead and swap to a size, back to the size 2 hook and the meat. And even if we don't catch any burbot during the day, I'll just spend some more time trolling during the day and come back to it. So I definitely do not want to waste a mayfly larva on such a worthless fish. So we got something on here. Yep. Another Vindus. I might swap. I'm gonna go ahead and swap off of the snowflakes. You know, the bite rate's good. It's just mostly catching Vindus, which I do not want to catch a ton of. I'm gonna get some more trout on here. And hopefully we'll come back to a nice burbot on the feeder when we return to that area. For now, I'm going to go ahead and go along the outskirts of the shallow area, see if we can get some rainbow trout. Which type of carp have you been going after mainly out there today, gamer? Come on, rainbow trout. Come on, out and play. We got, here's a decent Arctic char, actually. Hey, we've reached high enough spin fishing to use topwater lures. One day that'll come in handy. Sure. Now I gotta go all the way to 70% to unlock wacky rigs. Which I think wacky rigs are good for catfish, right? Oh, the Vindus are back. All right. Let me go and just skirt right across this little 3-meter spot. Sometimes I have some luck there. We've got 34 fish in so far. So how many burbot do we get so far? It's just 4. Still decent. Another Vindus incoming. No matter what I throw out there, they're wanting to hop on it. Let's try. I guess I'll just stick to the Aquila. Here we go. What's on the balsa minnow? Ah, there we go. Another Arctic char. It's not a Vindus. I will take it. Would prefer a rainbow or savan trout, or even a brown trout. I wonder, are any of the other bite alarms louder than those cheap bells? Or is it just a different sound is the only thing you're really getting out of those, like the electronic one and the one that looks like a little cowbell? I might upgrade to one of those if I continue trying this strategy. They are louder? Okay. So depending on the price of those, I may pick one up just to be able to hear that going off from further away. Square bell? Okay. I'll take a look at those tonight when we go to do the fish turn-in that case. And hopefully start picking some stuff up out here in the cove area. Usually at least get some pike and perch in front of these reeds. Yep, here come the perch. Don't know what the cafe orders are, but maybe we'll get a decent one that we can turn in. We're so close to that pike order last night. If we gotten one more good pike, we could have. That was like 140 silver, I think. Adriatica keeping up the bite rate. Ooh, that's a nice Vindus there. Alright, so on the balsa. Lake trout. No big fish out here today so far. I wonder if you're using a like a Bolognese rod or match rod or something like that with the Sabellina rig, can you troll with those? I mean, granted, getting float fishing to 100% is a distant dream, but that could be an interesting thing to do at some point when I am able to. Another perch. Not really. That's a shame. I'm going to start trolling with a telescopic. What could go wrong? There's a good bolo spot here on Kuori for whitefish. Huh. Yeah, that's definitely my, once I get the next trolling rod so that I can have the Titan, Alpha, and HSV all out at once, my next thing I want to do, I want to get the multi-tool for leaders, and I want to get some inexpensive bolo rods to start doing some more intense float fishing, since the only float fishing I have access to so far is just the red stick telescopic. Which has served me well, but time for an upgrade. I mean, I wonder if I've caught more fish on spinners by now than I have on feeder. Let's see, under here. Getting close. Getting close. A couple hundred more fish caught on spinner and I will surpass feeder. Here's a pike. A little. That's not a pike. That's a Vindus in disguise. Can't fool me. All right, let's see if the feeder rod's got something on it yet. I can't imagine anything besides burbot are going to go after those pieces of fish on a size 2 hook, but might be pleasantly surprised. Only burbot? Okay. So I doubt we'll have anything on there yet, but once night comes, hopefully we'll get some. I'm hoping to get a decent sized one. So far, they've all been under 2 kilo, but that was only one night. Second night's the charm, right? Yeah, this is definitely like not as efficient a strategy, but right now I'm just trying, experimenting on things, not too worried about efficiency, just having some fun. It's a neat thing to try. It works well on this map because you're going to be circling the island anyways. So take it easy, Blood God. Hope that the day's not as miserable as you're expecting. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming out. Right, let's see. Nope, doesn't look like anything is on the feeder yet, but I'm not expecting anything to get on there until nightfall anyways. I could probably swap it to something that will go after things during the day, put some like worms on there, but I keep stopping at the island every time I go by. Ooh, decent eyed it looks like. 748 gram. It's something. Don't get them too often out here. Unfortunately, the balsa minnow is not giving me much bite rate, so I'm going to go ahead and swap it back over to a spinner. With the old trusty spiker. And I know there's a spot up here off of the jetty you can cast from here into one of these holes, which I guess that's a pretty good spot for feeders as well. So on another trip, I may try doing that. See if it has a little more luck than that spot. I mean, at nighttime, that was doing a really good bite rate for the burbot, though, so certainly not displeased with the results. Bite rate is definitely a little bit slower than it was earlier. There's a little perch. It's like M-Dog's along doing some bream fishing. I guess of course his duo leveling series probably. Another perch. So let's see, are there any other lakes or bodies of water that I have access to right now where a strategy like this would make sense? Volkov, maybe. Do those islands out there in Volkov have good spots for feeder fishing? Maybe I can try the same strategy out there, leaving a feeder out, trying to get some catfish or something, even I guess burbot again out there, and roll around with the other two lines. Haven't been to Donetsky yet, so don't know what the what anything looks like out there. There we go. Looks like another perch. Yep. Probably not going to be a super profitable trip out here today. That's all right. We're just trying something new. Barely, yeah. I've been to Bear a couple of times. The first time I went out, I was having some really good luck, but the rest of the times, it wasn't getting much. And I don't know if it was because of the rig types I was using or the leaders. I know for sure one of the trips I was out there, I was using the exact same setups that everybody else was getting everything on, but I didn't have the access to the classic hair rig, and I didn't have the red camo leaders that they were using, and the exact same spot and setup I was getting nothing, where they were getting stuff back to back. I do want to go back there and try again. That my problem with Bear Lake is I feel like it's kind of like Balaya, in the sense that you have to be in the exact spot that's active, otherwise it's just nothing's going to bite, which I'm not as huge a fan of as compared to something like Oldberg, where there's going to be spots that are super active, but even if you're at an inactive spot, you can throw a line out there with the right bait and probably get something. See, hopefully this bite rate will pick up a little bit. I'm gonna try. I haven't gotten anything on the spiker for a while either. Yeah, you've got that Balaya luck, Hiko. I certainly do not. I wish I did. I guess I'll go back to the snowflake, see if it's doing okay again. Starting to have a Volkov effect here. Had that crazy bite rate, and then nightfall comes and daylight comes back up and the bite rate plummets. Little tiny Vindus disguised as a lake trout there. Hey, here we go. Probably our biggest lake trout so far. Yeah, 3.5 kilo. Finally one that's a reasonable size. Another Vindus. Tiny, tiny Vindus. Yeah, what I have found at Volkov is that it's like an endurance test out there, because one day in game we'll have really good bite rate, and then the next day will be just nothing, and it kind of just repeats in that pattern. So you have to be out there basically for at least 2 in-game days to really see what the bite rate is, because it seems to flip-flop. Another Arctic char. Yeah, I would be interested in trying this feeder trolling strategy there sometime, especially because here, even trolling at nighttime, you can still catch stuff. Volkov, if you're trolling at night, nothing's hitting. It's just like a waste of time. Hey, there's a Kuori char. Nice. Not quite a kilo, but any Kuori char is always nice to get. Yeah, so I've got, right now I am using, I think I was using the Striker 2, which number is it? The one that's the key color, I guess. The number 018. Been swapping it, was using it earlier, wasn't doing a whole lot, been trying all my usual lures out here. So the Spiker Green I find is, hey Apatar, yeah, we're actually doing the same strategy I was trying last night, and I had much more success with it, whereas before I was casting up this direction from the island, I was casting out this way today, and the first night caught 4 burbot, so hopefully that luck continues. But yeah, the green spiker I find out here is really good when it's raining. See, this one hasn't been doing much. Let's go ahead and switch it to a green spiker, see if anything's hitting on it right now, which I think it's actually on one of my other rods currently. Yeah, take it off of there. Green spiker. All right, let's see if it has a little better luck for us. And nighttime's coming. Once this nighttime ends, during the daytime, I will go ahead and swap that feeder out to some other setup that can catch stuff during the day. If anybody's got any suggestions for that, I'm thinking probably, I don't have any night crawlers, but I imagine brown trout probably go after fly. No, I guess not. I don't really have any of those. If you guys got any suggestions of what else I can put out there on a feeder during the daytime that just won't catch just like roach, I can try that out. You know, the spike. So I know the hornets are also pretty good in Balaya as well. I had one once upon a time, and then a mean old pike decided I didn't deserve it. There's our first grayling of the day. Yeah, Avatar, Hiko's our resident Balaya master. I'm the same as you. Whenever I go to Balaya, it does not want to give me any fish. Arctic char. I think also part of the problem with Balaya is like you really have to have a good ultralight setup because it's very specifically ultralight. Oh, I appreciate that, Canadian. I'll try those night crawlers during the day after we do the let the burbits out there on the pieces of fish for tonight. Oh, welcome there, Primo Victoria. Kuori is bad for brown trout. Yeah, I think I've only ever caught one brown trout out here. So what I'm trying out here is it's not as efficient as just 3 trolling rods or 3 feeder rods, but just for fun, I've got a feeder out on the island and I'm trying to catch some burbot and char, stuff like that. So whenever I go by, I can just pick it up just for some fun. But since this is your first chat on here, I always do like to ask my first-time chatters what their favorite body of water in the game is. Oh, very nice, Avatar. Yeah, that Western Cove, like there are days where I won't even bother with this side of the map. I'll just keep trolling in circles here and have a lot of luck. Glad it worked out for you. Balaya or Actuba? Okay, very nice, but getting some good fish in both of those bodies of water. My favorite is so far Oldberg. I love carp fishing, and it's always been good to me. Oh, a roach. Don't often get that trolling here. Pro light kit for out there, Hiko. Yeah, I've got I think that's what I've got with the, that's the one that gives you, no, I think I've got the one that you get from leveling up, actually. I don't think I ever got the pro light kit. So I'm gonna have to try that sometime. Do a stream out to Balaya again and see if I can't have some better luck. Go and get these night crawlers that Canadian graciously handed over, so... Ooh, hey, Adriatica's got a fight on it here. Alright, what do we have on here? This kind of fight, it's got to be oblique, right? Yep. Definitely oblique. Putting the old Adriatica to the test. It's actually, this is an upgraded Adriatica, but I have so my alpha is on the feeder rod. The Adriatica on here it's become kind of a meme reel for me. It weirdly has like just a higher bite rate for me than everything else. So I've upgraded it so it can handle a little bit more than it can stock, and it actually does pretty well. I've got some pretty mean Atlantic salmon and Volkov with it and stuff like that. I think this is on the other side of the island. I can't quite tell what's going on here. Yeah, with it being smaller, it does have that bite rate, I guess, does get affected by that. But I have the 8.2 kilo max drag friction brakes plus some upgraded oil on. Oh, fish got away. That's a shame. We'll never know what it was. Yeah, I guess it was on the other side of the island. Dang it. Oh well. Some tea and cucumber action here. But I did find that upgrading the Adriatica has been a really nice investment. Eventually, the main reason I haven't committed I've got a Titan, an HSV, and an Alpha 8000 as my 3 big reels right now, but I don't have a third spinning rod that can handle all 3 of those. So right now I'm just using, I could probably swap to the Titan setup, but kind of just use the Adriatica for some fun and letting the feeder use the Alpha. A little Arctic char here. My eventual goal is to bury the Adriatica at sea, though. I mean, this thing's given me some serious fights. We've had a lot of fun with it, but eventually I'm going to go out to Norway and try to get it to break on a halibut or something. Give it the naval burial it deserves. It's given me a lot of good years, but sun is starting to set, so hopefully we'll start getting some bell ringing on the feeder rod there as the burbot start to wake up. How's the 40K XP progress going, gamer? All you need is one real good salmon. That'll get you there, right? Nice. That does sound like a blast there. The craziest thing I've caught so far was a 51, well, not quite, it was like a 50.6 kilo catfish out of Volkov on my Titan. And that was an hour-long fight right there. But personally, I enjoy those fights that have you chasing something. Or that one, I mean, because it was a catfish, there wasn't a whole lot of chasing, but like getting a salmon that drags you all around the lake, or getting a carp that you have to walk all along the shoreline. I kind of enjoy those, and like while I enjoy the Norwegian Sea a lot, and I'm looking forward to getting back out there again, that is one thing I'm not as fond of with most of the fishing out there, is that it's kind of cast straight down, real straight up. It's just not as exciting as those fish that you got to chase around. Which I know, I guess, like if you get some of the big halibut and stuff, there is a little bit of chasing on those out there, but I haven't used all 3 yet. I've used 2 of them so far, and I'm saving the 3rd probably for around level 26 or so, when I want to get a little bit more XP boosting. And I'm eventually probably going to get the unlimited access and just stick to shoreline fishing. I'll get something with some cheap saltwater reel and some telescopic from the shoreline, probably. See, in about 25 seconds here, we're going to have a short ad break so that we can disable the pre-roll ads for an hour. So that'll be coming up here in another 15 seconds, and I will be continuing my troll along as that goes. And those of you that are subscribers, appreciate the support as always. You'll be ad-free. Another little Ventus there. Hopefully this feeder rod starts getting some burbot here soon. Getting impatient with it. Hoping to at least get at least a 2 kilo burbot tonight. So far we've got 4 that have all been under 2. One of them was almost a 2 kilo, 1.7. What happened there? That was a little weird. Forgot a cat. 3 in-game days a week ago on my Narga. Oh man, that's a bad time right there, Hiko. Those catfish, man, they're the trolls of the water, I swear. Just when you least expect it, they come along and wreck your day. Yeah, there's almost 2 kilo lake trout. Come on, burbot, wake up already. feel like rain here isn't quite as fruitful as it is at Volkov. Volkov, raindrops start hitting the water and the pikes just go into a blood frenzy. Yeah, that's true. If you never saw it go up to the top of the water, you can't prove it wasn't a bleak. You know, there was a book written a long time ago, classic piece of literature, with Captain Ahab and his chase for the great white bleak. I believe the book's name was Dobie Mick. Come on, Burbot. Give me some action out here. I feel like the sun is setting later than normal as well. Is it always this late before it sets out here? The game's just a taunting me. Anybody else drinking some fine tea this evening or daytime, depending on where you're at? Another decent pike, actually. Another spin fishing game. Always happy to see that. Yeah, it's you know, the Hat and the Cat, you know, that one, that's a children's book series about this dog that wears a beanie cap all the time, I think. If I remember correctly, you know, it's been a while. Well, you know, it's that old song that started with a lady that swallowed a fly, and at some point she ate a horse, and that horse was wearing a hat, and she'd also eaten a cat. So that's how the hat got in the cat. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Maybe she'll die. Was there even a moral to that old, I don't know if you call that a fable or just a children's song? I don't know what that would be called. I don't remember it having a moral to it, other than don't swallow flies. Oh, it's an old one. It's literally like this: the little old lady that swallowed a fly, and she just keeps swallowing something else to eat what she swallowed previously, and it just keeps escalating. So she starts with swallowing a fly. And then I think she swallows a spider to eat the fly. And I don't remember the whole progress of it, but at some point she eats a horse. I'm pretty sure. No bites out at Amber? Well, you know, you gotta throw some rough in the water. Wake the carp up. The old roughhousers. A little lake trip. At some point, the sun has got to set, allegedly, and get those burbot coming out here. Some more tea. Yeah, actually, so the first night I got 4 burbots out there, so definitely better luck than I was having last night, which was a whopping 0. After this night ends, I'm going to try putting some night crawlers out there during the day and see if we can't get anything on that. They've been small burbot, all under 2 kilo, but it's something at least. It's a proof of concept at least. So I have the clip set at 33, but I'm not quite making it that far, I don't think. I'm probably getting around 30 kilo or 30 meters. That's a decent Arctic char right there. I'm just going full strength with the 33 clip, going from here out straight into the the 15-meter hole over there. And I think char will bite there as well, but kind of since they're both nighttime fish, kind of have to choose between burbot and char. Right now, I'm going for burbot. Little tiny trout. Oh yeah, it's Monday. All the weeklies are popping off right now. I see Canadian just got a weekly record black-spined herring, 98 grams. I hope it didn't break your back. Here we go. Another 1.2 kilo lake trout. I bet. I mean, I'm surprised it didn't capsize the boat. Here's the Adriatica doing its work. You know, while this game does just about everything better than Fishing Planet, one thing I did have a lot of reckless fun with on there was the canoe mechanics, where you can pull the anchor up and let a giant salmon just drag you all over the place, spin up and down, fly up onto the shore. That was a lot of fun. So the spoon and spinner, they kind of, well, the spoon, you're going to have to use different jigging methods rather than just a straight retrieval. And they tend to attract different species. Spoons typically go after more aggressive predator fish like pike. So if you're fishing from the shoreline, the spoon tends to be a really good option if you're going through some weeds or stuff like that, just doing some basic jig stepping. If you're trolling, spoons are not very useful though, because they really need those specific jig motions. All right, there we go. I'm hearing some bells. Might have our first burbot of the night on here. The rain ambience has sort of picked up a little bit. Well, I don't think there's any burbot native in the States to go after. I think they are very much a European species. Anybody know if there are American holes that have burbot? Here we go. That is a tiny little burbot, but it's a burbot, so counted as a win. And Hiko, the coordinates here are 113.92. Canada's got a lot of burbot? Okay. That makes sense then. I guess they're more of a northern latitude fish. One day I'd like to go up to Alaska and go after some of the huge sturgeon they have out that way. That would be fun to do sometime. Yeah, Alaskan. I'm not a hunter myself, but I know people that enjoy hunting. Alaska is also a hunting dream for sure as well. And if there's some weirdo out there that just really enjoys shoveling snow and picking away at ice, I imagine it's a dream for them as well. Let's see, so it is nighttime. I'm going to go ahead and swap both of these to a nighttime spinner. And hopefully have some decent burbot on the feeder over there. If I can get at least 1 2-kilo burbot out of this, I'll be happy. Jigging yellow rubber is pretty good for burbot. Okay, it's good to know. To give that a try sometime. Oh, nice. Canadian going anywhere especially exciting? One day I'd like to go driving through British Columbia. All the pictures I've seen from up there, it seems like they've got some really nice scenic roads to go down. Oh, nice. Vancouver Islands, very cool. Looks like we got another burbot on the line here. Here's to hoping for a good-sized one. Just wish these rocks on the outskirts weren't such a pain to get around. All right, let's see what we've got. Ooh, this one's got a little bit of weight to it. Gonna break the 2. There we go. 2.43 kilo. Finally broke the 2 kilo mark. Yeah, all the pictures I've seen, never been up there myself, but all the pictures I've seen of British Columbia looks definitely like a gorgeous place to drive through. So if you're looking for a good nighttime feeder spot, if you put 3 feeders out here, I bet you could get a crazy burbot amount of burbot. Ooh, we got something decent on here. Ooh, and it's a Kuori char too. Now we're talking. 6.26 kilo Kuori char. Oh yeah. Love to see it. And 0.2% in spin fishing. Bonus. Man, the fog out here gets pretty intense. Ooh, M-Dog got a trophy rough. Nice. Nothing like a good trophy tiny fish. Another burbot on here yet? Nope. Does anybody know off the top of their head around how much the square bite alarm costs? So I'm definitely interested in picking one of those up to try this experiment, especially if I go to try this at Volkov, where there's going to be much more distance between me and the islands. Around 200. Ooh, it's a little pricey. May hold off on a little bit, but definitely something I'll get at some point. And one of our resident normal viewers checking things out. Come on, burbot. Give me a... All right, so now that we've got a 2.5 kilo burbot on there, might actually, while it's still nightfall, I'm gonna go hot swap the bait out to mayfly larva and see if we can't get a char before the sun comes up. Use the blinkers. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to use those. I wonder. So what's the? I wonder what the render distance is for the lights on those blinkers. I hear the bells are ringing. Yeah, that's what I've got on here is just the little cheap clacker bells. They get the job done, but for trying experiments like this, it does make sense to get something where you can be notified of the bite from further away. All right, so I'm gonna reel this in and then go ahead and swap it to a mayfly larva before the sun comes up, just to see if we can get a char. All right, here we go, burbot time. Whoa! That was some redlining there. This thing is giving me a lot of dead weight here. Ooh. We may have a good fish this time. I think that's this leader was the problem. Yep, almost 4 kilo. Hey, and some bottom fishing XP. So yeah, that had to be the fault of the leader because this is a 7.7 kilo leader. Almost daytime. Actually, since it is almost daytime, I'm gonna go ahead and swap it to the night crawler. Hey WSD, how's it going? We doing the feeder trolling combo experiment again, and it's been much more fruitful than it was last time. We caught quite a few burbot. Now I just put a nightcrawler out in the water to see what I can get. And we actually just pulled in a 3.687 kilo burbot. Not too shabby at all. Where you fishing tonight? So that's I actually don't know that. I've only caught a few burbot totals, though. I'm not sure if they're a high value fish or not, honestly. I know there's usually a cafe order for them, but anytime I see a cafe order for burbot, it's usually for like a trophy burbot. Yeah, so when I was trying the island last night, I was casting towards the docks, which was not the correct way to go about it. Now I'm casting towards the tower. And it's been much more effective. Looks like we've already got something on the night crawler, so I'll flip back around to check that. Got something on here. Yeah, I guess it's probably, you probably got on after I had started the stream a little bit earlier than usual tonight. And I put the message in there. I probably need to remember to mention it about every hour in chat, just so people know what's going. And I do have the Akbar tea tonight that I'd mentioned, the fruit tea sampler. Highly recommended. This one's got a whole bunch of different flavors in it. I've got raspberry tonight. It's delicious. All right, got something on the Adriatica. Ooh, decent Ventus actually. Got some more tea, and then whip around to see what's on the feeder rod. A little bit of a turbo boost there. All right, so now that it is daytime and we've got the night crawls out there, let's hope that that is a char and not something stupid like a roach. Snap out of the water. Oh, it's actually another burbot. All right, well, I'll take it. almost 2 kilo. And back to trolling. I think we've got something on the Adriatica as well, looks like. Yep. No rainbow trout yet today. Or, you know, I haven't got a Sevon trout out here in a long time. I used to usually get at least one of those per trip. A little spin fishing gain out of that. The water's clear enough here. I'm kind of curious about trying, if I get a bite on the daytime, see if I can see the fish from the surface of the water. I guess it's just muddy enough that I probably can't. Yeah, so this that spot there, it's been pretty good bite rate. If I was focusing on trying to do feeder fishing instead of just doing this sort of combo experiment, if I had 3 feeder lines out there, I'd be probably rolling in maybe 10, at least 10 burbot a night. So definitely worth it if you want to do some feeder fish. This is a shame that to get out to it, you have to do a boat rental. At least Volkov, they have the ferry and stuff like that to get to the islands without having to rent a boat. All right, good. Looks like another Vendus here. Decent sized one. Since this is catching some decent sized Vendus, I'm going to leave this one on, but I'm going to swap the other lure back to a daytime lure. Another decent Vendus. Yeah, well, you know, maybe I'll keep them both on. Hydrate time already. Here we go. Of course, you do it when the Adriatica gets a nice fish on there. There we go. All right. So we've got on the Adriatica. Well, going to drive me crazy here. All right. We got what, hydration and a stretch. Hydration 1, hydration 2, and a good upper body stretch here. Stretch the trap, stretch the rhomboid, twist the muscles here. There we go. All right, and a posture check too. There we go. And I am still on track. My hair dye session will be tomorrow, so as long as it doesn't end up taking like 3.5, 4 hours, I'll have the stream up for the reveal tomorrow. If not, it'll for sure be the day after. All right, we've got a 2.4 kilo lake trout. Grab some key, reel this in. Oh boy, perch. My favorite. Which I need to take some time tonight and look up some styles to try with the pink hair. Egg dough. So for Kenny's question, biggest fish I've ever caught was the 50.5 kilo catfish that I caught in Volkov. And as far as how much egg dough I've got, I'm overlooking it here. There we go. Egg dough. I have almost 7,000 pieces of egg dough. And aside from that catfish, it was a, I think I got like a 16 kilo grass carp at one point. Probably my second largest. And my largest one at the sea was the, I think it was the poor beagle actually. I don't remember how big it was. Let me look that up now, actually. Let's see. Statistics, fish. Poor beagle, where you at? No, I guess it wasn't the poor beagle. That thing was a tiny one. Yeah, then if that's the case, then yeah, it would have been the catfish and then the a grass carp that I got at some point, which was, yeah, 16.466 kilo. So I've got a size 2 hook on that night crawler, but I don't want to really go smaller because if I go too much smaller, I'll probably start getting some roach on there. Don't want to waste night crawler on that. There's another Ventus. Tiny one though. Now that they're not over 200 grams, let's go ahead and try some other options. Go back to the snowflake. How much you got, WSD? I'm gonna guess 18,000. Whew. 112,000 egg dough. You could construct a mountain out of that, pretty sure. So does anybody have some thoughts on feeder fishing from the islands on Volkov, where I could try this this sort of combo strategy out there sometime? I've never tried doing any feeder fishing out there at all. Well, it's just a really big backpack. It's a backpack of holding, obviously. I do like how our character inventories have infinite capacity, but the tent can only hold like 50 kilos. Yeah, just carry around a little hand cart behind you full of egg dough. I know they have, obviously there is burbot in Volkov, so if there's a spot from the islands that can be fished for those, I can try basically replicating this exact strategy there, but I don't really want to go for catfish with feeders out there because I think you pretty much need live or dead bait for that anyways. But eel, possibly? I guess I could, because there's all those reeds on the eastern island, so I could try putting, trying to get some eel out there with this strategy. It was a decent little pike, 3.3 kilo. Unfortunately, the daytime action is, well, lack thereof on this feeder rod is definitely noticeable. The far left island, get some good fish. Well, yeah, so trolling, I've got some good spots for trolling in Volkov. I'm trying to, what I want to try there next time I go is doing this combo strategy and drop a feeder rod on one of the islands so that when I'm trolling, I can come around and pick it up during the night, try to get some stuff. Okay, so you say the feeder is good on the left island as well. So I can try that next time I go to Volkov, see if it works. All right, take it easy, Primo. Thanks for coming out. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. I wonder, do the salmon go after anything out there? North of, welcome there, Blunty. So north of Center Island, fish pieces for trophy. Okay, so that's well. I'll try that next time I'm at Volkov. I'll do one rod out for try for some eel, and then troll for some salmon and all that good stuff in the meantime. Even though this is not a great strategy for XP or certainly silver per hour, just trying some different strategies for fun. And since this is your first time chatting, I do like to ask my first time chatters, Bunty, what their favorite body of water to fish at on here is. I like to get a feel for everybody's preferred fishing style. Another little tiny Ventus. I might swap the feeder out to a smaller setup during the day since the nightcrawler's not picking up anything until nighttime. A little baby Arctic char. All right, let's see, what else is there around here that I can try for? I don't think there's gonna be any common carp down there. Don't have any perch I can use. Oh, I can't use them really. Yeah, I'll go back to the mayfly larva and put a smaller hook on there, see if I can't get a whitefish or something during the daytime. Oh boy, hydrate. I'm gonna run ashore carefully. Yeah, it's I like traveling to maps. My favorite so far is Oldburg, but I do like having fun just traveling to all the different maps because each of them really gives like a unique experience as far as the types of fish and where you're fishing and everything. So I can certainly feel that. I guess if there's one lake that I just, for some reason, never clicked with me is Mosquito. All right, I'm gonna switch to a size, what's good for whitefish here? Like a size 19 or like an 11 might be better. I think whitefish are pretty small. I'm gonna try, one of these is, yeah, I'm gonna try that 19. Oldburg and Volk, yeah. Yeah, both of those are where I definitely spend most of my time for sure. Let's put some mayfly larvae on there. Yeah, active spots is definitely, if you're going for a lot of action, that's the way to go. I think that's what I like about Oldburg is something I bring up a lot is that it's one of the maps where if you go to an active spot, it's really good. But I feel like of all the lakes I've been to, that's one where even if you're not at an active spot, you can still have pretty good luck, which I always like. I haven't been to Seversky or Surrey yet. I want to get some good float setups together and try those soon. I do love Volkov. I just get terrified of getting those huge catfish after my 1 hour fight experience. Every time I get between the 8 and 10 meter hole in the southeast corner of that map, I get the fear in my eyes. How do you like the Norwegian Sea so far? Seems to be pretty unanimously favored. I've been there for 2 trips of my 3 so far. Got something on the mayfly larva. Probably need to switch this to a smaller tip size too with such a small hook. Nice, WSD. It's a lot of fun. One thing I do recommend, make sure you get to 60% bait harvesting for it if you're not already there. And once you unlock the basic fillet rig, I actually had a lot of fun switching to that because I was getting a wider range of species with it. Very nice, Blunty. It's coming right along on the marine fishing there, aren't you? Hey, the bottom fishing, decent sized roach there. Yeah, I got up to, in my 2 trips, I got marine fishing up to, what did I get to? Almost 40%. But yeah, I found that when I was using the Pilker rig, I was mostly getting like one species, whatever was biting at that hole. But appreciate that, WSD. Once I switched to the jig, or not the jig, the fillet rig, I was getting like 5 or 6 different species at a single hole, which was for me a lot more fun. I got a poor beagle that way, a lot of sculpins, some turbot, stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend giving that a try once you unlock, which I think was 35% marine. I believe. I hate that it doesn't give you the percentage it's unlocked at once you've already gotten it, but I think it was 35%. Nope. Mayfly larva's got something on again, so it seems like that area is active for roach as well, and then burbot at night. Here's a nice Vindus. Another spin fishing game to go with it. I'm hoping that that spot's good for char as well. Yeah, I don't know what it is about Mosquito Lake. I mean, there's some good spots, like if there's good cafe orders for bleak or rough, they're easy to fill out there, but I just never found a spot that I just really enjoyed on that lake. Okay, I'll check that. I'll take a look at that, Blunty. Good, always happy to find some new resources. Well, now you got to get spinning up high enough to use the Sabolina rigs. Come on now. It's just a... Okay, it's looks like it's an Arctic char. All right. Come on in the boat here, Mr. Char. Not bad, almost 8 kilo. I wish I knew on this Christmas lure if it's considered a white blue lure or a blue lure, because it's got like the white snowflakes with the blue backing. So I want to get some spinners that replicate it, because that lure's been really good out here. I'd like to have more than one. All right, let's see what the feeder's making a fuss about over here. Gonna be another roach, I bet. Yep. So I might actually try a larger hook, see if I can weed some of those out. Switch to a size 11. Get back on the mayfly larva. Now the one that the skill that you definitely don't really need to upgrade past like 40% or so is fishing. Which is unfortunate. I hope someday we see like more use for the higher skill fish, or not fish, higher skill cooking recipes. I know the alcohols are useful, but it seems like for food, there's really not a reason to progress beyond just like the cheap cucumbers. Bottom fishing, we're good at 55% here. I get the casting control, and that's it. That's I think 60% I get access to carp rods. And here the feeder going off again. Another Arctic char. Not going to go out of my way to go rush to it. Still try to get a full revolution of trolling before I pick it up. We've got over 100 fish in the keep net so far. Good old Adriatica, keeping that bite rate going. All right, now we can see what's on the feeder. Ooh, that is a good bit of damage on there. I guess depending on the size of the trout, but was your friction brake getting to where the fire thing is, the temperature, was it lighting up while you were fighting it? Come on, Vendis. Stay off my big hook. Because that does seem like a lot of damage for just a trout. Got stuck on a rock here. Yeah, keep an eye when you're fighting if that world. Did I just get a snag? I think I did. Yeah, I think I got a ghost snag on here. Let me get around to the other side of the island and confirm, but that's going to be unfortunate if so. Yeah, if your temperature gauge was heating up, then you may want to consider a grease oil upgrade. I mean, it does seem like there's a little bit of movement to it, but let me get to the other side of this island, and that should give me the answer I'm looking for. I'm worried it may have gone up and dragged over the top of the island and gotten snagged on one of these trees or something. Yeah, 'cause that looks like it's pointing right into the island there. And it seems like it's a ghost snag too, so can't really like freak it out of that. Sometimes if I might be able to actually, if I go on shore, if I can you go on shore while holding a rod from this? Question I have not tried before. I doubt it, but let's see. Can I? Nope. I'm gonna say I might have been able to trick it, but that's definitely stuck on something here. Yep. Well, I guess I will grab the feeder rod here and do a little relog action. Little roach there. Yeah, there we go. Hey, another bottom fishing game. All right. Yeah, that's definitely a... What did I snag on, though? Let's see. Looks like it's like in the middle of this section of ground. That's a pro trolling move right there. Let me go ahead and back out and come back into the map. If there's one thing, and I've been playing this game for about a month and a half now, that's the snag system is the one headache in the game that I hope gets revamped at some point, because anytime I get a snag, I'm just like, it's not even worth the even a regular snag. It's just not even worth fighting it. I just go ahead and do the relog. What do we have in the cafe today, actually? Do I have Hey, I'll be able to fill that one. That's decent. Roach, might get that filled out by the end of this year. Good to know, good to know. Let's get back out in the water. Yeah, the snag system definitely could use some work. See, that island sometimes blends into the background. Where? Look over here so it's not quite so loud. Wonder what the deal with that stone tower up there is. What the lore behind that is supposed to be. Alright, let's see. Get back in the correct angle here. Alright, back to trolling. And let's see, do I want to keep the balsa minnow on here? I'll switch to a spiker for now. Yeah, I feel like the comparison between hydrate time again. All right, raining when out here just doesn't seem quite as good as rain on Belaya or Volkov. Volkov, it's just a full-on pike party when it's raining. I love it. Old Adriatica, first one to bat here. And a perch. Another spin fishing gain as well. Another Vendus. Let's see, I'll get Wacky Rigs at 70%, and then Texas and Carolina. I guess heavy conventional reel is a good thing to unlock. And then from there, it's kind of just luxury stuff, pretty much. Getting closer to nightfall. Hopefully, I'll switch back to the night crawlers when it turns night and try to get some char. Or burbot at the least. Trophy 7, boy, I'd love that. That's some good money in XP when that happens. You know, if I get one, it'll be on the Adriatica. There's a lake trout, 1.111. That's a fun number there. So we did the hair color poll reward last week, which would be yeah, I do have I've got a few different balsas on here. I've got blue, pink, and yellow. I was using the pink earlier. I wasn't getting a whole lot of luck with it. Let me right myself. I might actually I'll throw this out while I switch to it. I'm gonna go ahead and swap the hooks from the pink back to the yellow and see if the yellow picks up some. Swap those around. And once we pull one of these back in with the fish, I will swap it over to that. So yeah, we did the hair color challenge last week, so that'll be, the hair dye will be done tomorrow. Anybody have any suggestions for the next challenge? I don't know when we'll set it up, but anybody has some ideas for something to put up on the next one, I am open to any of them. How much tea can I drink? Whew. Man, I've slowed down my tea drinking a bit. There was a time where I would go through about 4 cups in one sitting, and my bladder was not pleased with me during those days. I chug through all those teas, and for the next like 2 hours, I'm having to visit the old loo every 5 or 10 minutes to relieve myself. That could be a good challenge though, is trying some eccentric teas if I can find some weird flavors or something like that, some weird blends that people have put together. That could be a fun one. Ah, thank you for the follow there, WSD. Yeah, don't know why the notification didn't come up for that. A little odd. I have to check, make sure my notification widget didn't break. Oh, what? I hit something? Anybody else hear that? It sounded like I hit the shoreline. Ah, okay, that's probably why, because it was a previous follow. Dodgers are doing well, and yeah, the classic. I do have, if it's the normal Dodger, let me check. I do have a couple. I have the Crank 6. So yes, that's does it look like that's one of them there? My balsas are 65. The yellow is a 75. Which the yellow is what's in the reserve here, which go ahead and pull this in and swap that to the yellow actually. See if we can pick something up on that. Yeah, I kind of just like to churn through the bit. What happened there? That was weird. Like to try different lures and stuff out there. Some days I'll go for just whatever the best thing is. I'll put 3 of them out, go for straight XP per hour farm. But lately I've been digging this more relaxed approach of just trying some new things, see what we get. Getting close to sunset. I might actually go ahead and swap that over back to Nightcrawler and a large hook just to be prepared. Grab some more tea, which I need to remember sometime soon. I need to go back to Old Berg and pick up some more cucumbers and tea materials. Oh, I appreciate that. I'll swap that in there and see what we can do. Bald? Ah, no, I got too much precious hair for that. All right, let's see. That was the crank 6, so let me swap some hooks around. I'm not going to run into shoreline here. What do I have that I can take some hooks off of? You. That is the... Where'd it go? Oh, already had some hooks on. Didn't even notice. Let's put those back on there. The deeper ones, so okay, so I'll stick to the 15-meter holes in that case. Let me right myself here. All right, Dodger. There you are. All right, let me get back into the depths. Here we go. And yeah, those that weren't here for that, the challenge stream was a viewer poll on what to dye my hair color, and the winning color was pink. So I have my appointment with my stylist tomorrow to get that done. So as long as this gets done at a reasonable time, I will be showcasing that for the viewers tomorrow. If not, it'll be the day after. I hear the bells ringing. All right, got something on the Dodger already. Let's see what we've got. Lake trout. Oh, actually, 7 trout. Very nice. Been a while since I got one of those. Double tap item like a hook automatically goes on. Huh. Good little piece of advice there. All right, let me go ahead and work my way back to the island here to swap that back out to the burbot and char setup. Anything biting? Possibly. Which that's another useful tip if anybody is not aware. If you think you may have something on one of the lines, especially good if you have 3 lines out for trolling. If you go into the inventory and hover over the eye, like right there, it did that little bit of a twitch. If you have any of your lines, in this case, it's because it's got something on the feeder. If you have anything on one of your lines, you'll see that little flicker. So if you're not quite sure and you don't want to like swap reel your 3rd line in to check, that's a good way to verify that. Yeah, should be interesting. Hopefully it'll be better than last night's failed attempt at this experiment, which was only came out to be about 150 silver an hour, which is lower than I usually get on Kuori. All right, so we've got. And to show that tip again, so if I hover over, you'll see like it kind of does a flicker in and out, which I don't. Hopefully the bit rate picks that up. But when you don't have anything on, when you hover over that information button, it'll just stay solid. So that's really useful if you're trolling with 3 lines and you don't want to reel your 3rd one in to check. A little tiny Vendus. All right, so we're going to switch back to the size 2 with night crawlers this time. Link it out there. And we're about to have some ads. Let me go ahead and ad break it. Here we go. So these are just to prevent pre-roll ads for an hour. We'll continue through this, and subscribers, you'll be ad-free. Appreciate the support as always. Yeah, usually when I'm out here, and to be fair, it was a low amount per out here, but I was also trying this experiment and had the feeder in the wrong side of the island. Usually I get, if I'm focused out here, I get at least 200 silver now, usually around 210, 220. So definitely was not a profitable run last night. Hopefully tonight will yield better. I'm gonna go ahead and change this one out back to a spinner bait. Go back to Snowflake. Even though it's just mostly catching Bendis. Try to get a little bit more bite rate while we wait for night to set. Yeah, Volkov is actually, I was actually streaming for about probably a week and a half straight there recently. So I do want to do that experiment, this experiment there next time. I want to try doing some eel fishing with the feeder rod and then troll for salmon and whatnot around the islands. It was odd. Must have just snagged the bottom for a second there. But yeah, Volkov is definitely a fun lake. Had some great salmon fight there, and of course the giant catfish. One of my most profitable day in Volkov, actually, it was about an hour and a half for that stream, and I ended up making 600 silver because I got a whole bunch of like 5 to 6 kilo asp. I got a like a 9 kilo salmon, a whole bunch of 5 kilo plus pike. It was a really good day. Atypical of my usual out there. I usually get around 300 silver in an hour, but that was a really nice visit. I think that was actually the stream that finally got me enough silver to get the HSV. Our sun should be setting any minute now, and hopefully we'll get some burbot or char biting. Get back into the deep hole here. Oh, I pulled in some 7 to 9 kilo ones on the stock Adriatica, and it was rough. And actually, what made me learn that when you upgrade the friction brakes on the reel, you need to upgrade the oil as well. I initially went out there with the 8.2 kilo upgrade with the stock grease, and literally 2 fish brought me from brand new to 43% wear. One of them was a pretty big salmon, and one was a big pike. And that was a hard lesson to learn. But since I upgraded the grease from that, it's been working like a charm. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about like the Adriatica 2000. Oof. At that point, why not try it on a List 30? Or get really crazy and do it on a telescopic rod while trolling. Nothing could possibly go wrong that way. Which I know Oldberg, I've lost so many telescopic setups to a big tinge hitting on there, because those tinge hit so hard that you don't have a time to react. Like if your line is not set up to handle them, they just immediately snap it. Yeah, the 10 kilo one was 30. I was those cats, man. That's a lot of dead weight for those little reels to pull in. Hey, we got something here. Another Kuori char. Excellent. That's a 3 Kuori char tonight. This one looks like it's going to be a pretty big one, too. Come on in here, char. Gotta be getting close now, WSD. Gotta be getting close. Alright, I'm gonna have to bring the boat around to get this sucker in, I think. There we go. Now it's pulling. Come on in, char. Nice, 6.7 kilo. I love the XP you get for these Kuori char. Ah, welcome back, Blunty. Just pulled in a nice Kuori char on the Dodger you sent me. Definitely appreciate that. And sun's getting low now, so we should start hearing some action on the feeder rod again, hopefully. I can't release. The XP's good, but right now I'm in need of some silver more than anything. I need to get a another Super Duty or a Model 1 so I can have 3 good lines out when trolling. 1.2 kilo. Hey, up to 61% spin fishing. Gain 1.5% in spin fishing so far. Yeah, with the when you get one of the big Kuori char here, the XP is amazing. Another spin fishing game. Boy, the Kuori is being generous with the skill gains tonight. Let me get back into the deep hole here. See, I guess that makes sense why the Kuori char have been much more active on the Dodgeries, because it is a deep runner lure, so these holes where they're sitting on the bottom makes a lot of sense. So hopefully we can get a nice burbot or char on the feeder rod here shortly. Yeah, I gotta make more use of those minnows out here for sure. All right, so our biggest burbot so far is 3.687 kilos. So let's hope we hit either a nice char, or I mean, honestly, any char I'll be happy with, just to know that they're biting at that spot. But let's hope for a 4 kilo burbot on this night. Talking about like a power brick WSD, or the actual power supply in your laptop. Yeah, I've got fish pieces, which was I was catching the burbot earlier on the fish pieces. I swapped to the night crawlers to see if I can get some char as well. I did get 1 burbot on the nightcrawler in the morning, so I'm sure I'll get some more of those in any case. But the fish pieces were doing very well with the burbot. Absolutely. There's a little Vendus. The power brick. You may be able to find a good secondhand source. Apparently I said something that my phone's assistant was thinking I was asking about. You might be able to find a good secondhand source for a brick that you can pull for like $10 or so. Another good place to check, honestly, is if there's like a good thrift store, like a Goodwill or something. Sometimes you can get lucky and find some working power bricks there for like $1. All right, sounds like we've got our first feeder bite of the night. Let's take a poll. Is it going to be a burbot, a char, or something else? It's on Nightcrawler bait right now, size 2 hook. Pico's calling burb. Another vote for the burbot there. Common roach from WC. Oh, don't you put that darkness on me. Well, it's a tiny Vendus. The worm was bigger than that. I don't know if you guys saw that, but the worm was larger than the fish. Terrible. Let me just go ahead and I'm gonna switch back to the pieces of fish. Hide my shame. That never happened. All right, let's troll a little further out this time and not have a repeat of the snag incident. I think Gamer was telling me one time that he caught a gudgeon on a live rough, which is hilarious. I appreciate the follow there, ESP 10 mil. Yeah, I'm hoping to get his char. I'm worried that I don't have a lot of night crawlers, but I know the pieces of bait are going to catch me burbot. But if the Vindus are hitting on that, ooh, hey, a trophy! All right, big boy Vindus. Right. You got their spin trolling Kuori? Very nice. Yeah, it's so it's been pretty active. Right now I'm actually doing I'm trolling with 2 rods, and just as an experiment I've been doing a feeder fish on the island with a 3rd rod to try to get some burbot and char. And since it's your first time chatting, I'd like to ask first time chatters what their favorite body of water fishing on here is. Appreciate the compliment there, Hiko. Norway? Yeah, it's so I've been out there to Norway twice so far. I'm saving my 3rd trip for a little bit of a higher level, but it was fun. I'm looking forward to what I'll probably end up getting the unlimited pass and trying to do some shoreline fishing there once I can get a decent saltwater reel and probably even some telescopic fishing. So we got the trophy Vindus out here right after getting that Vindus that was smaller than the worm. I'm gonna call shenanigans on that. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm curious to see if they're going to add, because the developers have said they're planning on one more map this year. I'm hoping they add some more low-level marine tackle and put in like a level 20-ish saltwater map, like maybe just like fishing from the coast or something. So that way players can get into saltwater fishing a little sooner than just with the trips. I'm gonna go ahead and swap this back to night crawlers just so we're not only getting burbot. I really want to catch 1 char if we can. Really hoping to get one, because I don't think I've ever caught a regular char out here. Let me get trolling and I'll check that. My favorite body of water right now is Oldberg, but I'm really hoping I'll enjoy Seversky Donitz and Sura River. I'm going to go to those for the first time once I get some bolo setups together. Yeah, you know, that's a good idea too. Like maybe just add a smaller version of the Norway map where it's just like you're saying, the pier and the coastline, and doesn't have the boat, and then make it so you can access that around level 20. I think that would be a great addition. All right, let me check. Have I ever caught a char before? Get to the right menu here. Statistics. Fish. Char. I have not, so yeah, I'm hoping I can pull one of those in tonight. But on my second Norway trip, instead of using just the Pilker rig, I was actually using the fillet rig with safe fillets, and was catching a much wider variety of species out there. I was getting sculpin, the wolffish, got 1 poor beagle, stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. My first trip out there was pretty much almost all safe, it was effective and got me a lot of marine skill points, which was good, but catching just mostly 1 species wasn't so exciting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this this feeder and trolling combo over at Volkov, especially just because I like catching eel. They're a rare fish to catch and they're worth so much. So if I can make it work there with catching eel and then trolling for some pike and salmon and whatnot, that should be pretty fun. Little Adriatica here. It doesn't like to go more than 10 seconds without a fish on it. Wow, I'm getting a lot of spin fishing gates tonight. Yeah, those salmon are, they're something else. The hardest fight I've got, it's the third highest on the world body record, or not world body, US record for Volkov of catfish. Caught it on stream a few weeks ago, and I caught it on a Titan. It was a 50.5 kilo. That was an hour-long catfish fight. Brutal. But yeah, those salmon are fun. They'll have you chase them all across the lake. I enjoy those. They've all migrated to Archipelago and Ladoga. I'm sure Gamer would be happy to hear that. He loves fishing out there. I'm looking forward to Yama River just because as soon as I unlock it, my first order of business is getting mauled by the bear on stream. Someone's got to do it. Oh, Archie's dead? Oh, that's sad to hear. Gamer will be heartbroken to hear that. He loves fishing. Yeah, I definitely am looking forward to giving Sura and Seversky a try once I've got the Bolo rig setups. Amber eventually, because I love carp fishing, but I imagine I'm going to need much better setups before I can really go after the carp at Amber. Alright, so the sun's starting to come back up. That wasn't quite as effective on the feeder rod this night. I guess the night crawlers didn't do so great compared to the pieces of fish, unfortunately. Hydrate time. Alright. Gave up on bottom fishing. So it's when you're at an area like that's why I think I like Oldbrook so much is bottom fishing there can give a lot of fun fights, but it's definitely like, especially until you get access to like having all the different boilies and carp rods and stuff, the silver and XP per hour compared to trolling with bottom is just, it's night and day. Which is kind of unfortunate because a lot of people really love the carp fishing on here. So it is a little sad that until you get the really good gear, carp fishing is just not super profitable. But me, I like the fight. Like when I go on Old Berg and I get a carp that makes me have to walk across the whole map. That's a good time in my book. Yeah, and see the problem with boilies for me too, and that's most of my carp fishing I do with like potatoes and algae. I hate doing boilies because they're pretty expensive, and they're not, unlike regular bait, once you cast them in the water, it uses up the boilie. Whereas at least with regular bait, if you don't get any bites and you reel it in, you don't lose the bait. So with boilies, it's like if you start trying out a spot that's not getting any hits, that could be a couple silver worth of boilies and pop-ups and all that you lose, which is crummy. So it's definitely definitely something that's not as good until later game. Sun's coming up. I think the keep net's near full as well. I think it's probably time to go turn these fish in and see what we get. Hopefully we've got a few cafe orders that we can fill in as well. We'll go ahead and leave the lines out and see if we can't get a couple more fish on the way to the docks though. Yeah. Should be right. Yeah. All right. So look at the keep net we've got so far. I'm going to go ahead and Organized by weight. So we've got a couple big Kuori char. That's going to be good money there. We got that trophy Vindus up here somewhere. That's going to be really good money. I imagine these two burbot will be worth a decent bit. So, not counting cafe orders, I'm guessing we've probably got about 310 silver in here. We've got some more to add to it. Another little Arctic char. Oh, they don't get... Yeah, for some reason I thought I saw my numbers going down on them when I was... Do the dips maybe go down or something? Because I feel like there was one element of the rigs I was seeing that was getting used up besides the ground bait, but maybe I was just reading the numbers wrong. Kiko is going to guess 249.43 silver. That's a very exact number. If we have to do something special if it comes out to that exact number, I think. Yeah, the ground bait definitely makes sense. For some reason, I thought the boilies and dips were crazy. If they don't get used up, then I guess it's not quite as bad. It is still, they are still pretty expensive, but it's still the case where you really don't, compared to what you can get trolling early on, you need those larger rod and reel setups for carp fishing to make anywhere near the kind of money that trolling does, which is definitely unfortunate. I hope that we see some changes that maybe not even in the value of the fish, like maybe more low-end carp cafe order, something like that. But obviously, like rough and bleak orders for bottom fishing are great. Like if I go to Whiting Rivulet, I can usually throw some bottom rods out and fill in a bunch of orders in like 20 minutes. Yep. Bear Lake. I had some really good luck at Bear Lake the first time I went out there. I haven't had as much luck the last couple times, but when I was getting some bites out there, I really enjoyed walking up and down the coast fighting those. All right, here's the big question here. All right, not counting cafe orders, we are at 360.21. Not too bad. It's about a little under 2.5 hours. Not great, but with the variety of fish we've got, I should have some cafe orders on here. Yeah, I'll take a look at the individual prices for you there, Apitar. I'll take those real quick before we go to the cafe. Let's go through a couple of these. So Arctic char, we've got 2 decent ones there. The rest were garbage. Burbot, and they weren't great. I mean, they averaged around 5 silver, which isn't too bad, but they weren't stellar. You're so close, Eco, so close. Let's see, common roach. I actually had a decent roach on there from that one. Grayling, not worth much. Eyed, it's okay. See, there's the big money right there. Those 2 Kuori char, that was 100 silver, over 100 silver right there from those 2 fish. That's why I love getting those on the line. And lake trout got okay. Perch, nothing to write home about. Got 1 pike that was decent. 7 trout's okay. And the trophy Vindus, that was only worth 21 silver. That's a shame. A nighttime lure, I actually use a couple of black handmade spinner baits. So if you find just like any sort of a black spoon-shaped spinner, I would try that. Even one of these Achillas might actually do okay, probably, I imagine, at nighttime. But it seems like something that's a little less reflective is good at night here. All right, so here's to hoping we've got some good cafe orders we can fill. Nope. Yes. Okay, so this will give us a little more bang for our buck. We got basically 37 silver from that. That's all we've got. That's a shame. Yeah, so I haven't made lures myself. I had those gifted to me by one of the viewers, but I did notice in like the hardware section, there is a paint color set. So I guess that's how you choose the different colors of the lures you make. The 37 plus the 342, that puts us at about 380 silver for this trip. It's not great, it's not bad. And that puts us, if it goes through, maybe get a little bit of a server timeout here, I think. There we go. All right, we're back over 1,000 silver, so that should be, I think, not at Kuori because the prices are up, but I think that puts me pretty close to the new feeder, or not feeder, spinning rod. I think the tackle shop is this one. Yeah. Posture check. All right, here we go. Let's see. So I know the prices are much higher here, but the Model 1, I want to say it's like 1,200 silver or something like that at Volkov. So we're getting close. And then once I get that, I can start working towards the multi-tool and some bolo rods, and we'll be sitting pretty. But do my usual once a day scoop here. Give me something good. Give me something good. Again, just bloodworms. Come on, man. But with that said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this stream up. So thanks everyone for coming out. Always a blast. Hope everyone has some good fishing on their end, and look forward to hopefully tomorrow. Like I said, my hair appointment is at 5:15 in the evening. So if it ends up being like a 3.5, 4 hour hair appointment, then I probably won't stream tomorrow to show it off, but hopefully I'll be here for it. With that, everybody have a good night, and I will catch everybody next time. Take it easy, folks.